Hello and welcome back to Zekism Wrestling. So, WWE and AI. AI and WWE. A marriage made in some sort of hell, in my opinion. There's been a lot of talk about WWE and AI over the last few days and weeks. And I've sort of held my counsel a little bit. Sort of was stopping to sort of observe, see what the lay of the land is. And I think we go from sort of the ridiculous to a certain extent. If you look at some of the memes and the online rubbish to a certain extent, the AI stuff, the AI compilations that you see online. I've got some on screen now. The ridiculousness of WWE AI and what it's become. I mean, you've got I'm going to try and name check these now. The dictators, which is Saddam Hussein, I imagine Colonel Gaddafi, and maybe some others. Not sure. As AI faction, you've got George Washington against Lincoln, I think, for the US title. This is all using like Sora 2 AI, I believe. I mean, yeah, it's just silly. You got Stephen Hawking jumping off Hell in a Cell onto somebody. There's a few more in here that are just ridiculous. Diana and the Queen wrestling. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It is. I mean, this is the point where AI has just gone nuts, right? And I sound like an AI skeptic. I probably am. I try to be balanced and appreciative. I mean, what the hell? Is that CM Punk? Okay. I mean, they are. I think they are what this should be for, which is stupid AI. I mean, Roman Reigns in a ring cam. I mean, look. If AI is being used for this rubbish, yeah, this has got enough legs to survive a few weeks before people get bored and then move on to something else. This is just stupid. This is just stupid. And, I don't want to say inoffensive because obviously there's real people involved and they'll have families and so forth. And I don't know where conversation about... There's so many conversations to have about AI. One of them being like using people's personas that have not been signed off, obviously. What's the example? James L. Jones sold his voice to Disney for use outside. I mean, you've got, was it JFK at ECW? Okay. So here we go. I mean, what are the legal or moral ramifications of using real likenesses in this AI tech to make content? I'm very much of the opinion that you shouldn't really be doing that with real people, but obviously if the technology's there and people can, then they will. And here we are. Just showing you a clip of some of the more ridiculous things that have been done with AI. Stephen Hawking. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It is, you God's sake. Oh, God's sake. Anyway, long story short, that's the poor but I don't want to say fine use, but they're like, meh, it's fine. It's something that people are doing. Stone Cold in the ring cam now. Is that Einstein chair shotting the Queen? Okay, fine, yeah. AI, in general, being used for that rubbish, that's one thing. Then you get on to WWE potentially using AI for their own benefit. And that's when you start to get, okay, this is getting a little concerning now. And I don't know whether you want to be overreactionary or, press your panic buttons now. And maybe this story is overblown. Maybe this is just the man that's been hired into the fold to manage creative, because that's what the article implies. I mean, it's everywhere at the moment. So this comes from Sports Illustrated. WWE is looking to throw some punches inside the AI arena. The integration of AI into all business entities worldwide has been a major topic of conversation in 2025. WWE is typically at the forefront of business trends like that and has now made a step in advancing its AI strategy as a company. No, not deployment of AI wrestlers on television, not yet. The Wrestling Observer himself is reporting that WWE has hired a brand new senior director of creative strategy whose role will be focused on integrating AI into storytelling. That's concerning. According to the report, Triple H introduced the hire to the creative team and announced that he would be leading the company's AI initiative. The report indicates that Triple H said the hire would look to bring AI into the fold for various creative services like graphics and video production. Graphics and video production doesn't sound like anything concerning. You go, okay. I mean, me personally as a content creator, I balk at AI created content anyway. I don't agree with it. I think, without being such a intellectual snob, I don't agree with AI art creation of any sort. I think what it will lead to in the future is laziness. Can you imagine graphic designers being educated on how to use AI? I mean, it's an art form that will be dying a death, and I think technology at its best is used to help situations. At worst, it's used to eradicate certain areas of and I don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it. Sorry. I know there are probably some who think that's snobbish. I disagree with it fundamentally. Throughout history, WWE has a good track record of being on the forefront of cutting-edge business trends. In the 80s, WWE was the first to explore the use of closed-circuit TV on a large scale with WrestleMania. It was also an early adopter of the old pay-per-view model. Further, WWE was ahead of the curve when it came to embracing streaming. In 2014, the company was one of the first entertainment entities to have its own streaming service called WWE Network. We all miss it very much. WWE Network was the home of WWE content for nearly 10 years. The content hosted broadcasts, and most importantly, the archived content, which we don't have anymore. The WWE Network strategy for WWE ended in 2021 when the company licenses its historical and current day premium content to Peacock. Here in the UK, we lost it earlier in this year, January. And that's the end of the article. The fact is, what is this guy been hired for? I think WWE needs to outline exactly what this guy's doing. I know they won't, but let's be honest, WWE is a corporation. Corporations at the moment are employing AI to improve efficiency and basically cut costs. Cost cutting and efficiency drivers, because that's what corporations do. This technology that they've brought in-house, I believe, owned by this guy or created by this guy that they've hired, is basically going to be used to cut costs and improve efficiency. Now, how do they do that? Well, I think some people online have sort of railed against or balked at the idea that they could be using AI to book storylines, because there is an example online which feels a little leaked. So if you just search AI WWE, you get all these articles here. One of the key ones that they created, Cyrus Korsari is the guy that they've hired. Now they've sort of dampened it down by saying that the AI platform he produced some absurdly bad storylines like Bobby Lashley returning to WWE obsessed with Japanese culture. And they're using that as an example of like, hey, we aren't using this for storylines, but let me draw your attention to the horribleness that is Chat GPT. Sorry, I'm not a fan. And let's ask Chat GPT. Let's do an experiment. Let's ask Chat GPT to book storyline for, let's say, AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, which is a match I would love to see, in a feud I would love them to actually put in. Let's see what that comes up, because according to them, that platform isn't great for using to create AI. Creating AI content, AI storyline. So let's try Chat GPT. I think probably recognizes the foremost AI software for writing purposes and all that sort of stuff, and maybe Copilot. But let's use ChatGPT to book, shall we? Book a storyline for AJ Styles Finn Balor, please, ChatGPT. Here's a compelling wrestling storyline for a WWE feud featuring AJ Styles and Finn Balor, perfect for a long-term build, 8 to 12 weeks. Brotherhood versus Legacy is the theme, a battle for leadership, identity and redemption born from their shared past in Bullet Club and their diverging past in WWE. Chapter 1. After losing a high-stakes tag match on Raw, AJ Styles shakes hands with Finn Balor backstage. The exchange is respectful until Finn says, "You were always second to me, Japan or here." The tension builds. Commentary teases their Bullet Club history, referenced subtly as Japan. So even got the WWE corporate spiel there. Week 2, Chapter 2. AJ Styles reunites with the OC and challenges Finn's Judgment Day to a series of tag matches. Finn interferes in a singles match, costing AJ a title opportunity, e.g. US or World title. AJ snaps, "You wouldn't be here if I hadn't built the damn house you live in." But Chapter 3. WWE runs documentary-style promos showing their time as Bullet Club leaders with footage heavily stylized or recreated. Finn claims that he started the revolution. "You just moved in when I was done. AJ, you led a spark and I made it a fire." Fans are split. Commentary teases who really was the true leader. AJ challenges Finn to a match at the pay-per-view. No Judgment Day, no OC, just you and me, let's settle this. Finn counters, "Let's make it bigger. The winner becomes the new leader, not just of a faction, but of our legacy." It's framed as a match to prove who the true architect of modern-day professional wrestling is. Chapter 5, AJ Styles vs Finn Balor. Stipulation, legacy match. No interference, no weapons, just a clean Finn. That's just a match then. High-octane, emotionally charged bout. Several false finishes. AJ Styles wins clean after a phenomenal forearm, and both men are left exhausted. Post-match, Finn offers his hand. AJ hesitates, then accepts. Commentary, a decade-long rivalry finally ends with respect. The next night, both men tease they're going their own way, possibly face turns or new directions. Now, as inconsequential as that sounds, and meh, you could argue, and I hate to be a contrarian or jump on the bandwagon here, but you could argue that's quite... I mean, I could write that. I could write that in 5 seconds, because that's sort of meh, that's a lazy storyline. Very akin to what we may have been seeing in recent WWE television. So, the question is, have they been using AI up till now and actually railed against it in the last few weeks? Because I would argue Raw and SmackDown have been pretty entertaining. Certainly SmackDown was really good last Friday. Raw's been really good since WrestlePalooza. I wonder, this is my theory, I have no evidence to back this up other than the articles I'm reading here, that this guy was brought in and is in-house now. They were potentially using AI to write their storylines. And AI, being AI, is using stuff they've already seen to book or to come up with stories going forward. But it's always based on what's currently there. They're not revolutionizing it. AI doesn't revolutionize anything. It's based on what's currently there, predominantly in the world itself now. So what Chat GPT has actually just proven is how lazy AI can actually make the world and how generic it can make the world. So actually that goes to exactly what I'm saying is why I don't particularly like AI. It leads to the laziness of artistic merit. And therein lies the point of AI being lazy. To learn a skill and to learn, so say graphic design, for example, to learn that skill, to learn how to use a piece of software, for example, like I do with my thumbnails and stuff, or any of the graphics you see on screen and stuff, there is an element of templateism there, but there is development as well, and there's rendering times, and there's a bit of effort gone into the production here. And I'm not just patting myself on the back, I'm saying in general, most good content providers will do that. They will go out of their way to make something their own. They don't want to just take something someone else has done. They want to tweak it and make it their own. So that's what I do, and that's what many people do. Taking that skill set away and making it sort of very generic, very one note, very lazy, there's no other word for it, is where the artistic form, and I know it sounds silly to talk about pro wrestling, but it is an art form. Certainly if you ask wrestlers, there is a genuine art form to the way they wrestle, but also the stories that go into it that make fans care, either about characters, either about the story. Doesn't matter. It all goes into one. If WWE were using AI, which potentially, after having watched certainly SmackDown over the summer, it felt so generic. Then there is a lot of truth, I think, to some of the articles, or there's some truth to the articles, I think, that WWE have AI in-house. Either in the form of this guy that they've hired, whose name I'll get here just for the Cyrus Kalsari. Sorry if that's wrong. If he's in-house to provide AI, then yeah, I don't think he's going to last too much longer because the audience was actively turned off over the summer. And certainly since, oh gosh, I can't even remember. WWE has been a mixed bag this year, definitely, for sure. Culminate, it started around WrestleMania time. The Cena turn happened, but it was very phoned in, which isn't a word I would use to describe, or a phrase I would use to describe Triple H booking traditionally. It doesn't feel phoned in, but it has been over this calendar year. Not calendar year, but I mean most of 2025 I think has been sort of phoned in. And I think since WrestlePalooza, where I think it was the apex of that, they launched on ESPN. It went over like a wet fart with most of the audience, and ESPN even didn't give it a great review. That would have made a lot of people stand up and take notice. I know WWE is a corporate behemoth. I know they do shady practices in terms of the release strategy and the cost cutting, and all of it feels a bit grubby and a bit corporate. That's just what they are. But on the fact of it, if they're putting on week to week entertaining TV shows, which from Raw's perspective, they definitely have been since WrestlePalooza, so we're now 3 or 4 weeks in, and it's been, I think, the quality of the shows have taken a real uptake for me. SmackDown this past Friday, in a similar vein, I think, has upped its game. More of the same, and if that is as a result of them ditching using AI to book their stories, because that's my theory, that's only a theory, then all for the better. You can't beat, in my opinion, the human brain for imagination. You just can't. And that's my take. I don't know if it's a hot take. I don't know if it's controversial. I don't even know if it's offensive. So apologies if anyone does. No, I love AI. Well, more power to you. I'm not a big fan, and I think the programming, if it has been AI booked over the last few months, has borne fruit as to why that's a bad idea. Anyway, long story short, that's my take. Let me know what you think. Am I barking at the moon? Am I screaming into the wind? Or do you agree with me? It might happen. You never know. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to read your comments as well. I do reply to them all as well, so feel free to leave a comment and interact with me. Not a problem at all. Actively encourage it. Please leave a like and subscribe on the video as well, or the channel. That always helps with the YouTube algorithms and blah 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 and all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.